Hi, Dr. Yoshi Ram with Oasis Family Medicine, and we're going to be talking about low-level physical activity throughout the day. When you look at the blue zones, the centenarians, all of them get constant low-level physical activity throughout the day. You may have heard the term, a new term being thrown around, that sitting is the new smoking, right? And it's really to highlight that sitting for extended time periods is really bad for you. Surprise, surprise. Turns out the human body is really made for movement. When we don't use our body, we break down. And so while sitting is the new smoking, what that also implies is that if you're a marathon trainer and you have a desk job and you're sitting there for 8 hours a day, and then you get up and you go run for your half an hour, 2 hours, or maybe even it's 3 hours on the weekend, but then the rest of the time you're sedentary, so you go out for a 3-hour run and then you're sedentary for the rest of the day. That's great for your mental willpower training, and really awesome to achieve an amazing goal of doing a marathon or something else like that, right? It doesn't have to be a marathon. But the point is that's great brain training. However, it's not great healthy brain training. So good for mental, emotional, not so good for the actual physiology and healthiness of the brain or the body, because sitting is the new smoking. And so again, when you look at the blue zones, these centenarians, they're really doing constant, consistent work. They're working with their body, kind of like you might think of a gardener or a farmer doing, right? Just using their body. They're not doing a workout where they're at the gym. They might also have small, brief moments of higher intensity movement, right? So frankly, as much as I love my job of being a physician, it doesn't involve me being behind the computer and at the desk quite often. And so there's an element where somebody who is a gardener is getting that constant physical movement. Their body is much healthier when it comes to this aspect of their health than me. Now, some things you can do if you do have a desk job, right? Get a standing desk, or maybe one that stands and then sits so you can kind of move around. Use the stairs instead of an elevator. Do air squats. Set an alarm on your computer or your phone to alert you to every 20 minutes or 30 minutes, or maybe it's just once an hour, to do a few air squats, you know? That was not a full squat, but that was a lame attempt since my video camera doesn't exactly follow my body. Anyways, even if you're just doing 5 air squats once an hour, repetitively done, improves your health dramatically. It could be maybe you have a little thing where you do a pull-up, or maybe just a push-up every time you walk through a door. Most stores don't have pull-up bars there, but you can do a push-up. And even if it's a knee push-up, right? The point is to get movement. Maybe it's you set an alarm on your computer or phone to once every hour take 1 deep breath in and out, do a few, arm circles. The key with these is arm palm up, and start small and then go bigger and bigger, and then reverse direction huge, and then small, and then flip your hand, small, bigger, bigger, and then backwards, working to small circle. Even if you just do that for like 10, 15, 20 seconds, commit 30 seconds once an hour to the health of your body, goes a long ways. I was just telling my wife this, I had heard this 10,000 steps a day is good for you, until I got my Oura ring, which is really cool, by the way. I love it. Super nifty piece of gadgetry. But it does tell my number of steps. I've never tracked anything like that before. I was more interested in it from a sleep tracking perspective, but it also does count steps. And for the first time, I realized just how amazingly little movement it took to get 10,000 steps. So I am no longer impressed by 10,000 steps a day. That's a lame goal, really. Unless you are 120, then go for it. 120 years old, then you do whatever you want. But for the rest of us, you really should aim for 15,000 steps a day. I can't really wrap my head around a body being truly healthy with less than 15,000 steps per day or thereabouts, right? Some days maybe you're a little bit more, some days you're a little bit less, but my thing would be 15,000 steps a day. Gyms should be an option. They should not be a necessity, right? Going to the gym after 8 hours of sitting all day and doing a workout, no matter how wonderful of a gym session it is, it's not, your body's not going to be as nearly as healthy as if you had just devoted 30 seconds to moving every hour or every 30 minutes throughout the day. Okay, so that's my take on low-level physical activity throughout the day. Maybe throw in a couple of brief spurts of higher intensity, but even that's not really that necessary. I really am a big fan of the saying, sitting is the new smoking. So do what you can to negate those effects and set alarms. You know, until something becomes a habit, it's going to be a pain in the butt to actually do. So you got to set that habit. Once you have that habit, once you have the whatever your routine is as a habit, then it becomes easy. You don't have to put in much mental willpower. So while this might take a lot of mental willpower the first few days or even first couple weeks, once it's a habit, and it's easy. So take advantage of that fact. Hope this serves you. Take care.